This is the Wash Up Walk-Ons podcast, and tonight I'm going to start y'all off with a little riddle. You ready?
Yeah.
What do Joe, Jerry, and Jeffrey have in common?
There's something hiding the truth, something Nittany Lions, something
that's gonna get us
something
canceled.
Remove the statues. I don't know, somewhere buried in there.
They did not kill themselves, but they did fuck kids.
Oh, there it is.
All right, yeah, that's about what I.
There it is. I don't think I. Are we talking about Joe Pa? Because I don't think he.
Well, in this instance, yeah, we're talking about Joe Pa because he knew, first of all, and he was doing it too because he's a creepy old pedophile of an old man. So, yeah, tear down the statues. PP Toucher University glorifies a pedophile. It is what it is.
Penitentiary State, baby. Good rivalry, though. As you join us for the, and as a Wash Up Walk-Ons listener, at this point, if you expect anything less than that, then you're showing up with the wrong expectation.
You're unprepared. If you're failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail.
Yeah,
Facts.
It's again like what we were talking about last week. Some guy recommends, hey, you should listen to this Iowa podcast. Penn State friend, you'll enjoy it. That was their introduction.
And then we talk about. If they have any idea of what we do, I feel like if there wasn't at least, the over-under line on pedophile jokes, that kind of stuff. It's not zero. It's not a half point on this.
No, I already beat that in the intro.
If you want clean cut, nice, safe for work preview of this, go listen to the Doctorman Lystico podcast. Good podcast, right?
Yeah,
but you're in a different room here. It's a different vibe. Kevin's going to join us in a second here. He's the reason we pushed this thing back. We're recording this at 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday night, and he's still not here yet. So I don't know what possibly could be more important than this. Kevin finds excuses to fill that box. Boys, how we doing tonight? Grant, you said yesterday you were excited to talk a little ball.
I am. No, this is when I look at even not just like big weekend for Iowa, right, but also just huge weekend for college football. I feel like there's just a bunch of great games. I'm just really looking forward to Saturday, honestly.
It really gets going this weekend. There's a lot of good games.
Bunch of ranked matchups.
We're done with the pansy matchups, the non-con.
There's a couple of those still sprinkled in.
Yeah, there are, especially for Alabama, like week 11. They'll play like Chattanooga.
It's the whole
State.
SEC.
They like to do that for some reason. I don't know why.
They put one on the back end always.
It's like everyone else is loading up for like conference, like figuring out who's playing in the championships. And here's Auburn versus New Mexico State.
Yeah. Florida versus McNeese State. Week 11 primetime matchup. So shit starts to get real here, and there's been some Big Ten games played already. I've got one pulled up here in prep for this preview podcast, taking a look at some of the stats from the Penn State Illinois game that went down last weekend. I think those will be fairly relevant to our discussion tonight. But Drake, this is probably, the fans have noticed. Gary has noticed. Maybe it's because of Gary, but you've been more tuned in, at least active-wise on the podcast, that now you have a real reason to be. There's real excitement here. This is Penn State, Iowa. This is some good shit to talk about.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried. Our team isn't looking so healthy headed out there, and I know how tough it is to play out there. So the boys are looking at an uphill one.
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna put it. They're looking at an uphill one.
A little bit worried is a good. I'll join that bus. I'll place myself inside that category as well. Worried. I guess maybe not a great word for it, concerned about them having a real control over this game. That's probably a better way to say it. Obviously, the loss of Luke Lachey is tough. There's,
not ideal.
That room all week is, everybody steps up one slot, basically, right? So TE1
They better play fucking hard for him, dude.
Yeah, I saw a picture of him today. His mom and him, I think he got surgery today or maybe yesterday.
It was 2 days ago, maybe.
2 days ago?
Yeah.
Big smile on his face. Kid, from what I hear from
That's the Percocets, bro, because that shit hurts. He ain't smiling because it feels good.
I'm sorry, Luke. I hope you don't listen to this show in your absence from prepping for the game. I think from what I hear, he's just a smiley kid. Guy is just the absolute light of the locker room. Always got a smile on his face. Probably not.
Me too when I'm riding the perk train.
Probably not the type to get addicted to painkillers, but I'm not going to stereotype people.
You don't got to get addicted. They still give you a couple for the first few days,
Sure.
You don't have to go buy them off the street after that. Just some people choose to. And we don't judge those people.
No, we don't. KF in the press conference described the injury as a very significant injury, and he will miss a lot of time.
Yeah. He didn't rule out a return, though. He didn't rule it out.
Hey, Grant. Hey, G-Bone. Let me tell you right here, buddy. Let me just tell you right here, break your little heart. He ain't coming back this year.
Yeah, I accepted that.
Here's a quick little tangent that we can fill some time with. Guy was going to have a great year, probably. Was basically going to be the safety net, the out on every receiving play that we ran. He was stepping right into Laporta's role from last year.
By the way, number one player for designed shot plays.
Yes. Laporta, by the way, set like a rookie tight end record through the first 2 games of the season so far. What's Luke's future look like here? Because he was a potential 2nd, 3rd round draft pick.
I think he stays another year.
You think he stays?
I think he comes back because speaking from experience, he's not going to trust that ankle.
Yeah.
And he's not going to go put himself in a situation where he looks really unhealthy in front of the entire NFL. And then now they don't really want to give him his real shot, especially the 2nd year after he doesn't play. If he comes back, does all his training in Iowa, he's going to be able to just have a program just purely made for his recovery. He'll get a year to play against dudes he's way better than again. Mm-hmm. Get his confidence back. Give that ankle time, like an ACL, to heal for a full calendar year. And then, things get better with time to a point, and you got to give that thing time.
I'll say this too, and I don't know. I'd really have to look. It's weird because their situation, like Lucas Van Ness, he played 50% of snaps defensively. NFL teams sure thought there was enough tape on him to take a chance. I don't know if Luke has that much tape yet. I don't know if they've seen enough to take a chance on Luke. I think this year was the year for that. I think
I'm not even talking about the tape. I'm talking about when he goes to do physicals and do workouts and stuff. Yeah, that ankle's not going to feel right.
No, that's what, and that's part of it too, is like he just needs game reps of it. I do. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. The offense theoretically gets more veteran next year as well. Cade will be back. The offensive line will all get a year older. I don't think we have do we have seniors on this?
Might be one, maybe.
One senior?
Yeah.
So theoretically, Ostrenja, I need to learn how to say his goddamn name. He'll still be back as a tight end. Does Eric All have another year?
He might. I think this might be just the one for him.
That's it for him.
I could be wrong.
So
I'll check.
Offensively, I think we still have Vines. I think, Nico will finally be done after a 10-year NFL career, her NCAA career. But we've got some young
he
guys.
is too. He could come back next year if you want.
Eric?
Yeah.
Nice. So theoretically, this offense gets better. He gets a chance to go out and put, catch balls from a quarterback that can throw it to him and put plays on tape. And that's ideally what happens. Obviously, Drake, you're living with you probably feel it every once in a while, maybe every day. I don't know.
Every once in a while, every single step I take of my entire life.
Okay. I didn't know it was that bad, but
it's
tough.
Bad.
Yeah. You hope for the best for Luke and that it's not that bad. As Kevin joins the show. Sorry. Me and you always try to add Kevin in at the same time. Kevin, welcome.
What's going on, gents?
Well, we're just, we're talking a little Penn State, talking a little Luke Lachey injury, his future, just easing into the show here.
Where's our other compadre?
After the pedophilia.
He's in the background. He said we
eased into the show. We did not. We came out hot, and we covered the prominence of pedophilia at Penn State in the intro. So you're welcome for getting that out of the way before you got here.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened. So, I mean, it's out there.
Definitely
not a secret.
Definitely happened. Kev, how often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Quite frequently, actually.
Yeah, I thought you would.
Yeah. So Alyssa gave me that question about last week, but yeah, pretty often. I mean, it's really was a pillar of human achievement at the time,
Yeah. And pretty damn cool, dude. Rome was pretty cool back in the day.
Kevin's the kind of guy who gets up every morning and sits up, and there's a poster of the Colosseum next to his bed.
No, I know what I do is I get in the shower and I just think, I'm like, damn, they really fumbled it though, man. They had it all and they fumbled it. You imagine where we'd be if they didn't fumble the bag, man? We'd be we'd be past Mars right now.
You would have went walk on Coliseum Warrior instead of walk on football.
Dude. Yes.
Now we're talking, G-Bone. Fuck you, Rome. You bumbled it.
What years were they really grooving over there?
BC something like.
I mean, so the Empire didn't start until let's see, Caesar done. We're like around 30 BC is when it went from the Roman Republic to the Roman Empire.
Okay.
Now the western half fell around 400 AD. But the Eastern Roman Empire, otherwise known as the Byzantine Empire, didn't fall until 1453.
Right. The Byzantine, of course.
Yes.
The period of kings. Yeah, I think Drake was probably born in the wrong time.
Drake was meant to be a gladiator for sure.
Somebody commented on our YouTube the last.
You know how cool that would have been for real to go into the Colosseum, pull out your broadsword, and fight to the death against another human for the love of the entire empire.
How would Coach Ferentz guide you in a fight against in the Coliseum? How would he coach you up on it?
I would hope that Coach Ferentz was.
Coach walks into the room.
He's in the complimentary gladiatorial combat. Okay, we're not all about offense. You gotta play defense.
Right.
You get stabbed once, you're in trouble. All right.
Don't forget you got the shield in your left hand. All right.
They're back. They're in the underneath of the Coliseum. The freaking the cages where they keep the animals.
Here's a fun fact.
Very good.
That's kind of sports related. Do you know that the highest paid athlete in the history of the world relative to their time was a Roman charioteer?
Let's go.
Really?
Not a gladiator, a chariot racer.
Even better.
Chariot racer.
Yeah.
He was just the original Dale Earnhardt.
If you adjusted
the franchise tag.
If you adjusted what he won, his winnings, it was the current of making $1 billion.
Jesus Christ. who might have been in attendance, honestly.
That's crazy.
That's an amazing fact, Kev. I really like that.
Yeah, I think that they calculated it out like so like Rome was a very militaristic society, obviously. Like they spent like a quarter of their government budget each year on the military.
They would have been canceled.
The United States, it's around like 3%. Or no, 3% of GDP, but whatever. And he made enough money, if he wanted to, he could fund the entire Roman army for like half a year. So imagine an athlete in America today being able to fund the American military for half a year.
You get Mahomes out there. It's like, actually, you know what? I'm going to double the budget. We need more F-35s. They can't find them anymore.
Yeah, we're losing F-35s.
I'm not satisfied with the amount of F-35s we have in this military.
So yeah, I think about Rome a decent amount.
Yeah.
I will say I'm definitely like occasionally I'll wake up and be like, wow, the aqueduct systems the Roman Empire had were really ahead of their time. But I'm definitely I'm thinking more about World War II than I am of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, so is Kevin.
Dude, if I'm thinking about Rome, I'm only thinking about the fights in the Colosseum. I'm a barbarian idiot.
I'm still thinking about KF giving them a pre-fight speech in the.
But then you got someone else in the Colosseum who's like, well, his son Brian's making this guy. He doesn't even use his sword because of him.
What would be your weapon of choice in the Colosseum?
Kluber,
you'd be the net with the pokey stick type guy.
No, I'm thinking too small
fishnet.
Smaller dagger type weapons. I'm not a big sword guy. Give me too small.
You're already a little dude. You can't have little daggers.
Yeah, you're gonna get fucked up.
Oh, buddy, I've been living with a little dagger for 29 years.
You're thinking of Ninja Turtles, not the Roman Empire. Those are Michelangelo's weapons.
Well, I basically am a fucking Ninja Turtle, Grant. That's all I'm good for.
Without any of the ninja skills. So you're just a turtle.
I'm okay with that. I like turtles.
I like turtles.
Minecraft has turtles now.
Does it?
Oh yeah, they got turtles.
Gotta get back on the craft.
Speaking of the Colosseum, boys are kind of walking into the Colosseum. A little bit. This environment is going to be about as Colosseum-like as you can get. Feels like. 2 3-0 teams. Primetime matchup. CBS, I believe, right?
Oh, yeah.
CBS.
They start coming out of the tunnel. We are pedophiles.
I love the music.
They do have great intro music.
I'll say this. Coolest. Again, Ev, Drake, you tell me. I don't think, as an adult human for the rest of my life, that I will ever experience an environment again that tops what we have experienced in Penn State in 2016.
Definitely not as an athlete or a player or
something that
some sort of audience.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think is the difference between like experiencing an environment or atmosphere as someone in the arena versus someone in the stands? Like, what is how many times would you multiply the factor of how cool it is?
By the anxiety level.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Drake, it's by a factor of anxiety and responsibility.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because that feeling you got in your gut when you're a fan is like anxious energy, like just excitement and juice. But when you got to go perform in that for a second, you're shitting your pants.
I was just going to say, when you've got the actual armor on, like we're going to stay with the Coliseum theme here. I mean, it in that environment, it feels, even as the long snapper, it felt like we were going to war. Like,
well, good thing we weren't, because they would have taken all our toys and fucked all our women.
Well, if you're equating the result, yeah, we got conquered that day.
Kill.
Yeah.
Kill.
Kev, to answer your question, I'm gonna go like I'm gonna say it's heightened by at least 5 times. Like, It's
5 might be a touch high because the fans can still feel the electricity.
Yeah.
Like that's why you go to a game. That's why you pay the price of admission is to feel the electricity. You just feel the electricity as a player amplified by that level of anxiety and unknown, and that's where it is higher. But like 5 times is insane.
I get it.
I've been to games as a fan where like there's
you're juiced.
You're feeling more juice than some games that we played. Right? I think about Penn State last time they came to
21. I was there.
Or the big Penn State wrestling match, I think, in 2019.
Kev, I think I went to that with you.
No, you didn't.
Then I went to it. I don't remember when it was. No, maybe it was. What year did we go to a big wrestling match? Was it 2018?
Probably 2018. If you were.
All I know is it's a hell of an environment. Does this at all for a fan that's listening at home, in your guys' opinion, how if at all does this environment go poorly or go well in the Hawks' favor or disadvantage?
It's not in the Hawks' favor. Period. End of discussion. It is not.
I would make the one caveat argument is if you can shut up 110,000 people.
Yeah. Feels like you got a real big dick.
Then that is got to do it. That is like almost more momentum grabbing than if you're at like some random school and there's only 20,000 people in the stands. Like that, like 110,000 people being quiet is way more juicing up for an away team than 20,000 people being quiet, right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. That's 100% true, but it's got to happen on defense or special teams because I'm telling you from experience, when you're on the field, you have no idea whether your teammates are running the same play as you or not. It is too fucking loud to hear anything the quarterback is saying, any of the cadence, or any part of the check. So you either know the game plan well enough to know what the quarterback's checking to when the defense comes out and what. Like if you're in this run and you know that the kill call is to this play and he starts like trying to do hand signals, you better just know the game plan well because like that's exactly how I felt for honestly too much of that game was when I was waiting for the ball to get snapped. I had no idea where the quarterback was in the cadence, and I had no idea if I was running the right play.
Well, we'll come back to that quick second. But imagine back to the original point that Iowa receives the ball because, you know, Penn State's going to defer if they win the toss. But imagine that they go on like a just 10-play drive, march it down the field, and put it in the end zone. That play's going to get real quiet.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
you're right. You're right.
Now, I actually do want to talk about the, loudness factor, especially since, teams that go out of shotgun obviously do the silent count.
Mm.
How do we do that since we play a lot of under center football?
Right. So you don't really like you have to have it in your game plan that the quarterback is he's not going to touch the center until he's ready to receive the snap. So as an offense, I mean, the offensive line literally can't know. Maybe the center's like pointing out points or trying to communicate buck points and stuff. So the offensive line knows that he's not ready to snap it yet. But I mean, I'm not going to give out the code word, but Cade's going to be yelling the code word, or he might just say like in the huddle on the silent, and he's probably going to have a signal with the center, touch him somewhere, something, and then get under center, and the center is going to know that he waits 1 second or whatever the practice time frame is. But I'm telling you, you cannot hear when you're on that field.
Yeah, there was only a couple times, Kev, where I couldn't hear. I could hardly hear like the up back on punt And I do remember that in the first half of this game in 2016 was one of those times.
Yep.
I yelled loud too, dude.
Yeah, and I
was yelling at you.
And I remember I don't know if you remember, but I came off one time and shit was going bad early, and I looked at you and I was like, Drake, I can't fucking hear you. I'm just snapping it. So, and that's kind of how
things were going pretty poorly.
Bad.
It felt like the snowball effect really hit us in the face that day.
When you have me,
Barkley.
yeah, when you have me, like, who doesn't have any real job or anything, going, hey, I can't fucking hear, I'm just snapping the ball, you know that there's a fucking issue. But yeah, you're right. If you can grab that momentum and it's quiet, and what that does to the offense or the defense, whoever's making big plays, that fills you with just a little more juice. Like, hey, we're stunning people right now. My baby's rolling around. I've got to go fucking fix her in her crib. Somebody talk about something. Grant, pull up the deep fakes if you have to.
Oh, I'm not Heavens FX. I'm not that good. That might be my new favorite tradition now, is him releasing a new deep fake of a coach every week just to trick everyone.
So the deep fakes, is that like do you have to pay for like a program or something like that?
I don't even know. I think he's just like, from what I understand, he's much better at the at video editing,
the internet,
at just everything that involves computers than me.
What do we pay?
I think it's like I think there's a little AI potentially in it. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to. I would love to get on a Zoom meeting with him and have him explain it to me, but I'm not 100% sure.
You know, we might have to make that your next task, because we need the socials to keep blowing up.
Try my best over here. I'm kind of curious. Did you when you guys were preparing for a game in the whiteout, did you guys do anything in practice, a little like automated noise or anything to try and prepare for not being able to hear?
Yeah, we would do. We'd pump noise into practices. It was annoying as the defense, but yeah, Drake.
How do you do that though? Is it just like literally guys on the sidelines sitting there screaming?
It was literally a coach or like a player personnel guy brings out big ass speakers, hooks up a phone, and then tries to pump in fake crowd noise. Or when we were in Kinnick, they used to pump fake crowd noise over the loudspeakers, and it's annoying as hell, dude. And
yeah, I wish they would just play like loud ass music instead.
Yeah,
no, it's like just fake crowd noises.
You wanted them to just blare Lil Wayne over the
speakers. Dude, I was about to say a Milli. I was literally about to say play the song a Milli over and over again and just let that bass hit.
Yeah, so I remember we would do that before Penn State, before Ohio State. Any other ones?
Wisconsin, because those cheating cunts put fake crowd noise through their speakers while we were in the game.
Iowa State was letting the scoreboard and the sound system run pretty late into the play clock on 2 weeks ago.
Oh, and they got the fucking sirens going.
Dude, it was. I mean, they were like, we're in the huddle calling plays, getting up to the line, and they're just then turning off the screeching. Yeah, I mean, they were
Bubba, Wisconsin. The quarterback's making his check at the line, and the crowd noise is still going. Yeah. Dude, it was the first quarter. The student section isn't even there, and it sounds like they're at max capacity. Yeah. The fire department needs to come and shut this shit down.
It was suspect.
They do a little tardiness issue over there.
They still do.
Madison. I don't know why.
I don't either.
Yeah, it's always been their thing. They don't show up till after halftime.
And why? And it's just
it's so whack. That's the whack.
They just drinking through the first half, and then
it's the opposite at most schools. Like the students are like, "Oh, okay, we've seen enough football," and then they leave in like the third quarter. But
then you can't do jump around.
Game, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
For those, before we move on, keep moving around here. For those who haven't and are signed up for the Patreon, go check out yesterday's DHT. Some real good reviews on that. Grant with an all-time quote in yesterday's. People are really enjoying the not better, somehow worse quote that you gave me when I said something.
Sure.
You'll have to full details. You have to go there. And someone commented on that post yesterday. I wish you guys had time to do this every single day because I would listen. I was just like, wow, this
turns out I do.
Well, yeah. You get 2 extra a week if you sign up now because Drake and Gary Friday.
If we get enough of the $25 subscriptions, maybe we'll see.
Patreon.com/washed-up-walk-ons, and October is coming up very quick, about 10 days from now. And every single we've done this the last 2 years now. Every single renewal or new subscription or tier upgrade that happens in October, 100% of that money will go to a specific cause for the hospital. So we did sleepers for the NICU 2 years ago. Last year, I forgot what we did last year. Maybe that was last year. No, that was 2 years ago. So all of that money will go to a specific cause that we will find that's related to the Children's Hospital. So keep that in mind. Before we get back to the Penn State talk, the betting talk here on the end of this thing, did you guys see the AI deepfakes of Brian and Matt Campbell?
You're not going to
The
believe
one
what we
of
just
Brian
talked about.
was tremendous.
The Matt Campbell one is even better.
Oh yeah, the
Matt Campbell has to be in the depths of hell right now, dude. He has to be thinking that when you have one of the best poker sessions ever, and then you just don't leave quite early enough, and you run kings into aces for all of it, and then you leave on suicide watch. The last 3 weeks or 3 years, of Matt Campbell's career has just been kings into aces from the peak where he was at.
He's blind.
I don't know. He's definitely not had pocket kings though. He's just
no. You're right.
He's just throwing it all in the middle. He's on tilt right now.
He's running 8-9 suited into kings.
I was literally about to say he jammed queen 10 suited for all of it.
Yeah, all of it.
You remember that one guy at Riverside that would just get drunk enough, and then eventually just every other hand was all in, not even looking.
The
at
Indian.
I don't remember who it was, but I just
yeah, I do remember him quite fondly. He actually he supported me there for a while. I was making a good wage off of him.
He was paying Drake his.
You all have had fun with this 25-point obsession, and I get it. I do. But if I'm not mistaken, we just dropped 41 on Saturday. So maybe it's time to grab a hold of your little step ladders and go ahead and climb out of my ass for a while. You all have had fun with this.
Dude, that's so good that McAfee loved it.
That is some quality AI shit.
So,
and then
imagine for a second, you're Brian at home Sunday night, and you're having a couple beers, kicking back, hanging with your wife before you got to go to another week, and you guys are just watching this. What's the conversation between Brian and his wife after a couple of beers?
Oh, honey, look at this shit, huh? They got me AI deepfaked. They got me on one of these AI.
You're doing KF. That's not.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
I don't have another Ferentz voice. It's my only Ferentz voice.
One trick pony.
But someone did request a Coach Ferentz talking about the black pants that they're busting out for this away game, this whiteout, and him talking about it in a team meeting. So maybe we'll get that in a second. But here is the Matt Campbell one, and they included the screenshot of the fan. This fucking crackhead. Oh shit! Hold on a second. Here we go.
Meet in the next Rough and Rowdy. I'll send his Mardi Gras beat. First of all, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The Fiesta Bowl champ does what the he wants. If that troll after the Ohio game wants to meet in the next Rough and Rowdy, I'll send his Mardi Gras bead-wearing trash ass back to Sunnyvale in a coffee can. First
in a coffee can. Sunnyvale. He throws out a Trailer Park Boys reference. I love that. Wow.
I don't know what Heavens FX makes, but it's not enough.
Yeah, whatever he does for a living and the skill set that he's gotten, I think between those two clips alone, he's working on upwards of 10 million impressions.
Yeah.
Over the weekend.
Like I said, I don't know if you listen.
Twitter pays for content now, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you got that check mark.
Oh yeah.
Which he doesn't.
Which he doesn't.
Fumble in the bag.
Teach me the ways, please, Mister Heavens FX.
Yeah, if we can get Grant to have skills like that, our washed up walk-ons content is going to start flying off the shelves.
Well, then we don't
find out who he is and make an offer.
Hey,
we ain't got enough to pay him.
The problem is if we can't deep fake Drake, because anything that you would make Drake say, you're like, well, yeah, that probably would come out of his mouth. So I don't know. That could be real. It could be not real. I don't know.
I think Drake would actively encourage that, so he can say, hey, it's not me, but he's telling him exactly what to say.
That could be true.
Yeah,
could be true.
I like that.
Grant, somebody was asking for a G-Bone top 25 poll each week.
I can do it. I just don't know if there's going to be some rankings that might surprise some people.
You know what initially came to my mind is when you see all the AP writers and all their votes in that big long list of where they had each team. I thought we could do a walk-on one where like the four of us and then maybe the Discord gives their top 25 of the week. But I know for a fact that Kevin and Drake just aren't going to do it.
I ain't going to do it.
Yeah,
not going to do it.
I know him too well. So yeah, there goes that idea. It's not fun.
Maybe I'll give it a maybe. We'll see. Probably yes, but
anything that comes from G-Bone, people enjoy, especially the G-Bone.
How's the internet?
What was that, Kev?
How's the internet, Gary?
Oh, I feel like we're about a weekend. I haven't had any problems.
Seems good.
Do you miss the library though?
I'm going to be honest. No. No. It was really annoying to book all the study rooms. So it's much easier. Just go from my, actually, I don't even go anywhere. I just stay in my room.
Yeah, dude, the library Gary thing was such an inconvenience for you. That was pretty brutal.
Yeah, well, it's also nice too when it's like late at night. You're like, oh shoot, I have to send an email, or like, oh, I forgot to do an assignment, and you don't have to go all the way to the library to do it.
That's potentially the worst. Yeah.
Kluver would not have done those assignments if it came down to going all the way to the library at night.
Just wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Yep. Wouldn't have happened.
It's frustrating too, pulling up Red Zone in like the middle of the library, just trying to watch the first weekend.
Yeah. Penn State comes into this game as the, what are they, 6th ranked in the country?
I want to say 7.
6 or 7. At home, night game. It's a big time environment for them. They're clearly the favorite in this game. This isn't like a field goal line here. I mean, it's pretty thick especially for an Iowa Penn State matchup. Outside of the weird COVID year where Davion was Euro stepping them, and
they were bad that year,
and the year that we got shellacked, we'll just call those two a wash. Basically, every other matchup in this rivalry over the last 20 years is like a 1-score ball game.
I think we got slacked in 2012 too.
Yeah, 2012. I was
2012 was a tough season for the Hawks.
I was actually at that game, and it was.
I was there too.
Actually. It was a bad one. Yeah.
Jordan Cotton,
he got it. He got a
TD
kick return
just to get something out there.
Yeah, it was like 41-7 or something like that.
I think that's the game the Sheriff broke his ankle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just a bad game.
I'm seeing 2011 was 13-3, so I don't think it was as bad as you thought.
2012, Gary.
Go to the next.
I don't think they played in 2012.
No, they did.
They did.
All right.
They certainly did. They come in with the 20.
Oh God. Oh
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm sorry.
You found it. Bad year for the Hawks.
Maybe we should have left that deleted off the internet, but
they come into this game with the and again, the first week of conference play here, so these numbers are potentially inflated due to the out of conference schedule, but they come in with the 26th ranked offensive total yardage, gaining about 467 yards per game. Defensive wise, I'm seeing them at 16th in the country, allowing 270 per game. Iowa comes in at 31st, allowing 287. So about 17 yards difference there. Obviously, Iowa, I do believe Iowa's up to like around 80th in total offense, which is Market improvement. I saw a graphic today that at this point last year, through 3 games, we had scored 40 points, 41 points, and we have scored 85 so far this year. So we've doubled. Woo! We've doubled our points. Nonetheless, Penn State big favorite. Doesn't help that we've notched 1 down in the tight end room. We're notched 2 down in the running back room, although we're decently deep there, especially after the last 2 weeks of what we've seen. But a couple true freshmen are going to carry the ball probably a couple times. LaShawn is going to get the majority of carries. Liddell Betts today or yesterday, I believe, said that LaShawn is more than capable of being a every down back in Big Ten college football. So I think he's going to get a large percentage of the work on Saturday, which is exciting.
On your fantasy team?
I need him. Wish I had him.
This reminds me of the day that Jordan Canzeri carried it 43 times against Illinois.
Yeah. A lot.
43 times?
Oh,
he carried it 43
like 9 times in a row at one point, too.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember the size of Jordan Canzeri, thinking about handing him the ball 43 times in a football game
Not smart.
is insane.
Kid had heart, though.
Oh, yeah.
Head coach of his high school football team now. His old high school
Shout out
football team.
Canzeri.
While he was in high
Man,
school.
I used to
Head coach.
love to put him in a trash can.
Canzeri's a good dude.
He is
You
a
did
good
that to
dude.
several people, Drake. I don't know what your deal
Yeah.
He's a bully. Drake's a bully.
Drake,
I was a really, really fucking shitty guy.
And we talked about how he was a shitty 6-year-old yesterday on DHT. So it's just a real theme.
But honestly, you can't tell me that there weren't a few dudes that deserved to get stuffed in trash cans.
Certainly were. Kevin's back, still clearly an issue because he's standing up at his desk doing stretches right now.
Yeah, I got an Airx pad on the floor right now, so I'm just on my knees here.
Well,
he's praying, dude.
Let's hope that the Nittany Lions don't do a bending over like your back is doing to you on Saturday. In your guys' mind, and I think it's pretty simple for me, it's not about – I think that Iowa stands up to the challenge here. I think they make this a game. If we're going to win this game, if we're going to come out of Happy Valley, we went and got Cade McNamara for games like this, to compete in games like this, give the offense a chance, go out there on third downs, long offensive drives, put it together when we need it. This is the big game on our schedule right now. If you look at the rest of this schedule, and I'm not going to overlook any opponents, although I can because I'm in the media, Rutgers looks like the next best opponent throughout the rest of the year right now. So, and that may be a little hyperbolic, but not a lot.
I don't know, man. That might actually be factual.
Still doing a good job over there.
If the Hawks and this isn't the goal either, but the Hawks get real respect by probably just competing in this game, but certainly winning this game. They're not. It's very similar to 2015. We earned the most respect when we lost to Michigan State in the Big Ten championship. Every other game, people were like, "Well, their schedule just fucking sucks." How do we do it? We have to muddy it up, right? It's got to be ugly. It's got to be ugly as shit.
Turnovers, baby. Turnovers and Tory Taylor.
Yeah, we're gonna have to win the turnover battle. I don't.
Kirk Ferentz recipe for success.
Is that a T-shirt? Turnovers and Tory Taylor.
That's a pretty good one, if I do say so myself.
All right. Penn State, turnover-wise, needed 5 defensive turnovers themselves to beat Illinois last week. Maybe not 5 of them, but they got 5.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if they just had an off week. I mean, they're 3-0 versus spread so far.
Okay.
But if you just the eye test, they did not look sharp at all versus Illinois last week. And Illinois' defense is leaving a lot to be desired this year. And so, yeah, they went 5-0 on the turnover margin last week. That game should be won by at least 4 touchdowns, no question. If you're losing the turnover margin 5-0, you should be blown out.
I was just gonna say
blown out.
If Illinois doesn't screw away 2 or 3 of those and it's only a 2 turnover battle, that might be a field goal game.
Well, I mean, I think they got 20 of their 30 points off turnovers.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
So let's see. Illinois went missed field goal, Nittany Lion punt, then Illinois fumble,
Jeez.
Penn State field goal, Illinois interception, Penn State field goal, Illinois interception, Penn State touchdown. And then the other 2 turnovers were in the second half, and they got a touchdown off another one. So, yeah, they got, 14 plus 9. They got 23 of their 30 points off the 5 turnovers.
Jeez.
And let me say this right now. I consider a missed field goal because like fumbling a snap, like
Yeah. I mean, essentially, it's a turnover and downs. Yeah. And Iowa hasn't, we haven't had crazy turnover margin victories yet. I think we had the one versus Iowa State. Was there any more? Was it 1-1? 1 pick to 1 pick? Obviously, ours was a little bit more important, but I think versus.
I'm trying to think. Utah State. Xavier had a pick. Did we turn it over at all?
I think it was 1-0 in that game.
Yeah, and then
So-
I think we lost the last one.
Clearly Penn State, their defense has proven that they can get turnovers. Cade got a little loose with it last week. We can't have Cade playing loose like he did last week in that sense. I'd love him to be loose and be comfortable. And I actually saw a clip today of the last time Cade and Eric were in Happy Valley. They actually had a long completion, and I believe they beat Penn State that day.
They did.
Here's a unsettling fact though, is that Penn State is yet to turn over the ball this year.
Oof.
It'd be a good time to start.
They're due though, right?
Yeah.
They do.
Kind of
at
means
some
they're
point
due.
you have to regress to the mean, don't you?
I mean,
Exactly.
I don't think there's ever been a team that's gone an entire season without turning the ball over.
Boy, that'd be impressive.
So
Wouldn't
it
it ever?
feels
so-
like they're due.
Yeah.
Hey, forecast calling for a little rain on Saturday, huh?
I love
A
that.
little bit of rain.
That's big
I
for
love
us, man. That helps.
Get it wet.
So Penn State's playing really clean football. They had 1 penalty, then they had a few penalties versus
They have
Delaware.
15 penalties through 3 games. I saw that. Iowa has 8. They have 15. So they have double the penalties of us.
But I mean, that's
Couldn't be a factor, but it could be. I think
Iowa has to play the cleaner game to win.
We have to
Because,
play the cleaner game.
Again, I don't think Penn State's offense is going to systematically just march down the field every single time. I don't think, not even every time. I think without giving them free plays, short fields, I think their offense won't have that much success. I mean, will they have a couple scoring drives? Of course, but I don't see Penn State just running over us like they did in 2016.
Yeah, they
I
don't
don't
have
either. They don't have Saquon Barkley.
They don't have a Saquon. They don't have a Jahan Dotson.
Their running back's pretty good right now. But
He's
he's
good.
not Saquon though. You're right.
They've
Still
got
really good though.
They've got Katron Allen, and he's good. And then they've got Nick Singleton, and
That's
he's
what I
pretty
was
good.
Wait, his name's Katron?
One of them is.
I didn't know we were playing against the Transformers, dude. I may have to change my opinion.
But
KF.
Nick Singleton's the real deal though.
Nick Singleton's good, and they've got Katron Allen. And KF comes into the team meeting. They got fucking guys named Laser and Blazer and fucking
All sorts of Azers.
Is that a quote?
yeah from Dodgeball.
Oh shoot. Not bad.
And then Drew Allerman, I don't know, man. I think the jury's still out on him. He did not.
The
look
jury
sharp at
is
all.
out.
I think he's going to be good. He's not there yet.
I mean, he looked average at best versus Illinois. Obviously, they beat up on Delaware, and he looked pretty solid versus West Virginia.
I think we have to rely on this cleaner game, like Kevin said. The defense is going to have to get a couple picks. We need a couple picks. We need huge special teams play out of Torrey Taylor and Drew Stevens. Hopefully, he figured out whatever the fuck he was on last week. This is the best defense that Penn State's offense will have seen yet, for sure.
Without doubt, yeah. So
Phil Parker has them teed up, and this environment's going to have them teed up.
I think if we do a good job stopping the run, especially if it's a poor weather game, I think they will struggle on 3rd and long.
Yeah, you give Coop time to break on a wobbly ball, it could be a long day for you.
It could. And here's the deal. We get it into our offense's hands, and I know we're not world beaters, but we've got, like we've said, and I know this isn't what you want to hang your hat on, but we've got a chance. We've got playmakers. We have a little bit more on the offensive line. We've proven that we can run the ball a little bit. This will probably be the best defense. Not probably. This will be the best defense we've seen this year as well. Iowa State, pretty good. They're up there in the rankings as I look at them. But
I mean, this is going to have to be a classic ugly Iowa win, right?
6-3 ball game, boys.
We're going to have to win turnovers. We're going to have to win penalties. We're going to have to win field position. And it's just going to have to be close there at the end. And we're going to have to make a play that can turn the tide of the game. You know?
And it can't be ugly early, because if Iowa's offense is behind and has to throw a ton, and the defense is on the field a lot, getting tired, Iowa is not able to play the ball that they want to play. So there you go.
Yeah.
There you have it. Should we get into the segment, huh?
I don't know.
Not feeling it today, Kevin.
Kevin.
All I do is go 2-1, and that is what I've done every single week thus far, and we will do it again this week. So let's start it off with the 11 o'clock game. I'm going to ride them again. Give me the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
Let's go.
Plus 24 versus Michigan. I think Michigan is yet to cover a spread. They've not put up more than 30-something points in a game yet.
Wow.
And Rutgers looks solid, man. They run the ball well, and they've played solid defense. I will take Rutgers plus 24 points.
It's a lot of Rutgers. This is a lot of Rutgers love for someone who doesn't like Rutgers. I didn't forget what you said about Rutgers.
I didn't forget what I said either, but I think they lose by less than 24 points.
Right.
Give me the under in the Northwestern and Minnesota game. It is at an abysmal 38, and I'm going to take the under. Both these offenses look kind of dead, and I think Minnesota has a okay defense, pretty good defense. I don't know. And Northwestern knows how to play defense, but they won't be going up against any killers on Minnesota's offense. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of points scored in that game. Give me the under. And then, you know what? I got to do it. Give me the Hawkeyes plus 15. I think we keep it close in a muddy game.
I love that. Grant, you got picks, or would you like me to go?
I would like you to go first.
Okay. I like that Rutgers pick by Kev. I'm going to stay away from that. I'm going to go somewhere that our friend Jason here, who Grant and I recorded earlier with in the week, you'll hear him in a second, told us to stay away from, or at least he's staying away from. It's the Colorado-Oregon game, and it's a 3-touchdown line. And I think that this is the week that Dion and the boys finally get brought back down to earth a little bit. I think Oregon wins this game big. And
how big?
More than 21.
Okay.
Interesting, man. I mean, they went into Texas Tech a couple weeks ago, and I think they only won by one possession. So
I think this is the week that Colorado gets sent down just a little bit.
You're going to be on their bulletin board. Like, see, they're preying on our downfall.
Yeah. That's okay.
Well,
if Dion,
Dan Lanning's like the only coach who actually was saying stuff about Dion. This is the first. Every game's been personal. This is the only one where there's actually like bulletin board material.
Travis Hunter's out. They've been riding high. They're going 2 Autzen Stadium. It's going to be the week. We come back to the Big Ten, and we see. Oh no, where did I just lose that? We see the Maryland-Michigan State game. Mel Tugger, baby.
Yeah.
Mel Tugger. Shout out to Brady Ross for that one in the Discord. Michigan State's in a bad spot. I'm taking Maryland. -7. -7.5. Don't love the hook there. Don't love the hook.
Hear the hook.
But I'm taking Maryland -7.5. And then what can someone get me a line on the Iowa Penn State? Here we go. Oh, it's 40.
40.
Yeah. Give me the under on that, buddy. We went over last week. Someone give me the last time that 2 Iowa games in a row went over. It was probably like last year.
That's probably.
But it doesn't. I feel like it doesn't happen often. Iowa Penn State 6-4. It just feels like a 6-4 ball game in the rain.
2 safeties?
No, but I just want it to be that game. And if it's 6-4, that's a lot. That's very far underneath 40. Give me the under. Game. Give me the Iowa and Penn State under 40. Love that. Those are my 3 for the week.
Wow.
Yeah. Great.
My turn. Okay. I do want to clarify first. You're about to hear a great segment with Jason. I've changed my mind on one of the things I said with Jason. He talked me out of it.
Okay.
I pick Washington State with Jason. I'm flipping to Oregon State. That's not my pick for this, but I want to clarify. I've changed my mind.
The Pac-12 championship, baby.
I'm going to go with DJ Uyunglele, Oregon State for that one. But my actual picks for this one, my first one is going to be West Virginia +6.5 versus Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech. I think they're a good team, but I think they got a little bit too much hype preseason. It's carrying in.
Where's that game at? Is it in Morgantown?
It is in West Virginia again. Back-to-back home games for them. I like as well. Not a ton of travel, wear and tear there. Also, West Virginia, I watch them. They just muck every game up. And if I can get a near touchdown with them, I like that. Second, I'm going to take Kansas -8.5 versus BYU. BYU had a big win last week on the road in SEC country. I can't remember the last time that happened. They beat Arkansas, who isn't amazing. But I think now they have and they go on the road again now to Kansas. I think this is kind of like a letdown, a little bit scenario here. And Kansas, their offense was incredible. They torched me when I picked Illinois. I still have nightmares about it. The band is awesome there too. People don't talk about the band enough at Kansas. I love Iowa marching band too, but Kansas is competing for the loudest band of all time. So I'm taking Kansas there. And then my last one, people are going to call me crazy. I'm going to be called crazy, but I'm taking Clemson +2 versus Florida State. I think they win the game. I think I'm taking Clemson +2. And no, I've been all over Florida State as well, but it's like I can't.
I don't know, man. Florida State had some trouble versus BC last week.
I mean, red bandana game though. It's a tough place to play.
That's true.
Grant's gonna put his money behind Yabba Dabba douchebag.
Sometimes you just gotta take those lines that don't make sense when you first look at them.
That's the thing. It's like that
Iowa State -3 last week.
Yeah,
didn't make sense, did it?
Which, by the way, whoever Ohio and Rufus the Bobcat is playing this week, give me Ohio.
Oh, they're playing Bowling Green. I think Bowling Green.
Fuck. Then give me Bowling Green.
There we go. But yeah, no, I am curious though. Do you think if Clemson has 2 losses in September, is Dabo, are they like, hey man, doors that way? We're getting a new guy.
I don't know. I don't think they're showing.
We liked Mike Elko more than you a few weeks ago.
I guarantee there's going to be some people in their fan base, probably already is, that are like, hey, it's probably time to move on. But it doesn't look good.
There's a chance this weekend that both Dabo and Nick Saban have 2 losses in the month of September.
That would be college football on its head.
But yes, no, I like.
Great game coming up from Ole Miss in Alabama, by the way.
Should be fun. It's a great weekend.
Hotty toddy.
Cancel all of your plans.
Yeah.
Okay, your kid's soccer game, cancel it. Birthday parties, cancel it.
It's a phenomenal slate of games that we got.
Funeral, cancel it.
Yeah, I saw there's Oktoberfest here in Iowa City. Move it. Can we do it on Thursday? Is that allowed? I'd love to go, but there's football on.
Yeah.
How many screens are going to be at Oktoberfest?
Not enough.
Who's doing Oktoberfest in Iowa City?
Like Germany? I don't know.
The fucking country of Germany.
I'm not in charge. They just set it up, and then I go
over from Munich.
They've got
some guys in some fucking.
There's some German representatives coming in.
I bring my Stein and I show up and it's just there. I don't know.
God, Grant, you add so much to the show. That's so fucking clean. Drake, is there any exciting matchups in the octagon this weekend? Drake's dead. Drake died. He's out. He's gone. All right.
Drake?
Let me in.
Oh, there he is.
Let me in. Let me in. God, I've been chanting "Let me in" for a while, dude.
Did you text? Did I miss it?
No, I can't because I can't leave the screen because I'm on my phone.
Shoot. How long have you been out?
Dude, 6 minutes.
Oh no. Shoot. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I have Iowa plus 15, dude. We're covering that. Fuck pedophiles. They should all die and burn in hell. And that's what I got. Epstein didn't kill himself, but whatever his name should.
Should he just tails off?
Who's that coach?
Sandusky.
Sandusky. He should.
Epstein didn't kill himself, but Sandusky should. Wow. Maybe not wrong. Okay. There you have it. For those who are going to stick around, you're going to hear an unbelievable segment with an absolute.
There's no UFC picks, Drake?
I forgot to check them, dude. And when I went to check them, I got kicked out of the chat. And then I came back in and I was still kicked out. So there's my UFC picks.
Nice. Jason, this guy from Betfred, sponsored by Betfred, by the way, is he's a shark and he has some real betting knowledge. We're gonna have.
He's really smart. Don't listen to anything me and Tyler said.
Well, yeah, that's a pretty clear directive for every episode we do.
Follow me if you want to go 2-1.
And if you want to go 2-1 and actually make money,
2-1 pays the bills, boys.
Just tag along with Kevin this year. Ward's Winners is the segment name. You know what it is. Let's go get one in Happy Valley, boys. Let's fucking come away. Hawks by a milli.
Why not?
Why not, huh?
We'll
talk to you guys on Monday, regardless of what happens in the game. We'll see you then. Peace.